Hey everyone, welcome or welcome back to the Wyoming Knits YouTube channel. My name is Jenny Lee, and this is my channel where I like to talk about all the things I've been knitting on over the past week. And today is Sunday, May 3rd, and this is episode 137. You can find me on Instagram as Jenny Lee Knits, and you can find me on Ravelry as Jenny Lee S Knits. Today I'm coming to you from a beautiful, sunny southwest Wyoming where I live with my husband, our daughter, and our little Yorkie Dax. Dax is roaming around the house today. It's just me and him hanging out. Everyone else is busy off doing their own thing. And I said, ooh, right now would be a really good time to stop what I'm doing and go record and get that done for the day. So let's talk about what I finished, what I'm working on, what my plans are, and because we finished April, I have my stash stats for April. So let's start with what I'm wearing. I am wearing the Maema by Pip and Pin. This is the fingering weight one. They do have a DK weight Maema. It is a 3/4 length sleeve. Just a lightweight cardigan. It has, what is this stitch called? It is honeycomb brioche. It is super easy if you can brioche or if you've done half fisherman's rib. It's pretty easy because you only do the brioche stitch on one side, and so the other side is pretty manageable. It has stockinette sleeves, twisted ribs on all of the 1x1 ribbing. It's all twisted rib, and this color I got last year from Momma Jess Knits in her April mystery yarn. This was shades of purple, and when I saw the inspiration photos I said I'm buying 3. And I'm going to make me a sweater out of whatever color it turns out to be. And I am so happy that it turned out like this. So I love to just throw this on when it's warm, but I want something to cover my arms. I do really, really love it. It's lightweight. So that's what I'm wearing. I just put it on over my camisole, and it's nice to wear on a warm day. So let's talk about my finished objects. I have them right here. If you saw the thumbnail picture, you know what my finished objects are. I finished all 4 socks, 2 pair for Mother's Day. This pair is for my mom, and this pair is for my mother-in-law. So we'll talk about these ones first. I was right here, and I think this was the second sock. So I had the first one finished last week, and I was right here on the second sock. I finished the rest of the second sock. This is the second breakfast pattern by Witchery. I did these on Chagu 9-inch circular needles. I did 64 stitches. When I cast on, I did a 2x2 ribbed cuff. Then I went right into the second breakfast pattern, and I did the textured pattern until I got down to the heel, and I substituted in the heel from the Crazy Sock Ladies Vanilla Socks on 9-inch, and then I always do the toe from that pattern, so I don't know if it's in the second breakfast sock pattern or not, if that's the same toe. I should really look at that. So both of these are finished. I get to give these to my mom next Sunday for Mother's Day. So I am excited that these are finished. So let's talk about the next finished object. These are the socks for my mother-in-law. let's find the little stitch marker. I was right here on the first sock last time. They've got my hair all over them. I was right here on the first sock. I finished the foot and the toe, cast on the second sock, and finished that. These are also 64 stitches on a 9-inch circular needle. I do all my socks on a size 0. I do 9-inch all the way down to the toe, and then when I get to the toe I switch to magic loop. This pattern is the String of Lights pattern by Witchery. This is my go-to step up from vanilla socks. I think it feels like I make faster progress on these compared to a vanilla sock because it's a 2-round repeat. So you do the first round and then the second round and you're like, well, I'm on the first round again, might as well get to the second round. Or, well, I gotta know where I'm at in the pattern so when I stop and pick it up again, so I'll just get to, and then you end up doing 4 more rows than you were going to because you couldn't stop. So I did the first sock, and then I did take these to school and work on them at lunch a couple of days in a row this week. All of the little first graders are so excited when they get to see which socks I'm working on, and every once in a while when I take them with me to work on at lunch, I show them. So these are finished. These will go to my mother-in-law next Sunday. I'm pretty sure I will record next Sunday. I'll probably record and then go visit everyone. So these are finished. I have 2 finished objects this week, and that is all. But the last couple of weeks I haven't had anything finished. So those were my works in progress, or my finished objects. Let's talk about whips or works in progress. The first one is living in this bag. This is a Knit for Brains. It's like a little sock set bag. It has the camper material. It is pretty much just big enough for a skein of yarn and maybe a mini. I'm working on the String of Lights pattern on this Yarnable from December 2024, and this color is Dino-Mite. And I'm doing the String of Lights pattern again because that's easy. It's my go-to when I don't know what pattern I want to use. And I am right in the middle of the heel flap. I think I'm on the last round, but the dog wanted outside, so I put it down and then didn't pick it back up again yet. So I was right here last time. These socks are for my sister-in-law, hopefully for Mother's Day if I get them finished. If not, then they will be for Christmas. So I did the same thing. Cast on 64 stitches with a German twisted cast on, 2x2 ribbed cuff. I did 20 rounds. I usually do 20 rounds for every cuff. And then I did 70 rounds for the leg. Started with the slip stitch heel flap from the Crazy Sock Ladies Vanilla Socks pattern. Then I will pick up the gusset stitches. Well, I need to do the heel turn, pick up the gusset stitches, and then knit the foot on this one. So I'm working on that. She picked out this yarn. I picked out some of my yarn up here. I asked both of them what their favorite colors were, and I grabbed some yarn, and this is the one she picked. So that will be worked on this week. The other socks are downstairs. I haven't picked them up this week for my other sister-in-law. So that is the first work in progress. My second one on my list is this one. This is in a bag that one of my cousins made. She does not sell bags. I am using the Lion Brand Scarfie Light in the color Tiger Lily. Let's see. And I have made some progress on this. Let's see, where's my... This is the little progress keeper that came with that Dino-Mite socks in my Yarnable box. So I was right here last time and I just did a few rows. Just working on this slowly. So I've got a few more inches. I think I want to do at least from here to the end of the ribbing. I want at least 13 inches because I like my sweaters a little bit longer. I don't really enjoy a cropped sweater. So I'm really enjoying how this is like the stripes only go just a little bit. That was really interesting to see how this worked up in a sweater. I'm sure it will work up a little bit differently in a scarf, but I worked on this just a little bit. I want to work on it and I want to get it finished and I want to have it and I want to have the grams out of my stash, but there's times where I'm going to be going somewhere and I need plain vanilla stockinette in the round, something to work on. I know I have at least 2 field trips coming up, some different doctor's appointments. So this will be really good for bust knitting, waiting room knitting. So I don't want to get too far on it, but I want to work on it and I want to finish it. So we'll see what happens with this one next week. So then I picked up this one. This is in a Fates Threads bag. They are no longer making bags. All the patterns, my project pages, the yarn, the bag makers will be linked in the description box below. This one is my Anacortes pullover by Michele Frazzetta. Oh, that sweater I just showed you, that's the No Frill sweater by Petite Knit. It should have been up here. Sometimes I forget to say which one it is because I've talked about it so many times that I forget that I forgot to talk about it this time. The Anacortes pullover, I'm using Yarn Cafe Creations in the color Prickly Pear. And I need to kick up another skein because I am almost to the end of that one. This is my second skein. I have done a few rounds on the body. I was, let's see, right here last time. I've done how much? This is going to be a fun, squishy, warm. This is a ribbed, broken rib pattern with twisted rib stitches on the collar that go down the raglan line and into the side seam. So I'm excited to work on this. She is doing a knit along. I can't remember how long the knit along goes for, but I will be working on this just a little bit at a time. It does take some concentration. Now that I'm in the body, I just have to worry about, is this a plain knit round or is it a ribbed round? And then each round you have to do the twisted rib on the in between the markers. So this has been fun to work on when my brain needs a little bit of a challenge. So I'm going to cake this one up today so I can get it in. I have 2 more skeins. So hopefully I have enough yarn. I think I do. According to the pattern, I do have enough yardage. And I think I checked my gauge and it is really close to being right on gauge. So then I have this bag. This was the bag that I got with my 4 Sundays of Advent from Momma Jess. It was like a reading themed. It says just one more chapter. And I pulled out my Lovelight blanket. I'm not sure how to pronounce the designer's last name, so it will be up here. And I am on color number 22 out of 24. I was right here last time on this gray. Put in the red, the blue, the orange, the purple, this beautiful variegated, and now I'm on this golden yellow. Can we get all of the colors in? This from the ground, it goes about to my waist. So this I think I am gonna stop on the 24th color and bind off, and it will just be a little lap blanket for me for the summer when I'm up here and the air conditioning's on and I need something just to cover my legs. I think that's what I'm gonna do. If I did this again, this is a really good project to do with your minis. You cast on a certain amount of stitches, I don't even remember how many. You cast on your stitches and you get going and you do a certain amount of rows and then you do your stripe and then you keep going, then you switch. I dropped my yarn. You switch colors, you do your stripe, your other stripe, and then you do your next color. I really love how that works and how the blanket is knit up. I think if I did this again, I might not make the stripes as wide. Well, I don't know, because I want so when it's just like that, it's not super wide. So I think I would go a little bit wider and have the stripes not as tall and then add in more colors. I don't know, but I really love this squishy texture of this. It is like a kind of like a rib. Well, it is a rib, but I love that. So it's very squishy. I'm sure you could pull it out wider if you needed to, like you could block it out wider. But blocking it out wider makes it shorter. It is written for a 24 skein advent fingering weight yarn. And I think it is supposed to be a shorter blanket. I do have some of my ends woven in. I have been working on those. I'll do a few ends and then I'll go work on the top, get some more rows in. So I think, let's see, I would need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 or 10 more colors to make it like almost a full size to put on the couch. I do love how squishy it is with this ribbed pattern. I have some Christmas yarn over here that I could add in, or I could just add in some random leftovers I have. I don't know, because I'm on 22 and then I have 23 and 24 in here. And that's, I don't know if I want it longer or if I just want to bind off where the pattern says. But I want to finish it also so I can have the grams out. I think I just want to finish it, put one more stripe of like a day 25, like a Christmas yarn at the very top, so I remember it was a Christmas advent, and call it good. I think that's what I'm gonna do. I think, yeah, we'll see. If I do it that way, it will be done by next week and I can have it for my grams out, because April was a heavy grams in month. So if I can finish some things and get some grams, some bigger things, and get some grams out, I think that's what I was going for on this, is to finish something bigger and get those grams out. I have a lot of blankets. From just right here I can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 blankets going, and I have 19 works in progress. So if I got some of those blankets done, my works in progress would go down also. So I have that one. I'm almost done with that. I want to finish it. Then I was up here, I think last Sunday when I was editing, and I picked up this box, this little tote, and it has my DK Jelly Roll blanket. I am using Knit Picks Felici held double, and I am taking the 2 skeins that I have left over from the socks that I made. So I have both skeins and I'm holding those double, and sometimes they are marling and sometimes they are striping. I was right here last time. I think I worked on just this much while I was editing last weekend. I have some ends I still need to weave in. I have four stripes almost. I have 3 completed stripes. But I stopped working on this because I only have this much yarn left as scraps to put in it. So I would need to knit up some more of my Felici yarn to be able to put in that blanket. So I've kind of put it on hold, but then I want to work on it. But then I'm like, well, if I work on it now, it's not any closer to getting done because I have to do some socks to get some more yarn to put in the blanket. So don't have enough yarn to finish it, but I want to work on it because it is a fun join as you go. Just work back and forth. You get a lot of progress in a small amount of time. So it feels like you did a lot. This was probably like 45 minutes, half hour. Feels like you've done a lot, but you haven't. I'm working on a US 5. These are double pointed needles. These are just some cheap bamboo ones I got when I first started knitting off of Amazon. I was like, ooh, I need DPNs and I need this and I need that, and I saw these really cheap wooden bamboo double points, and I was like, ooh, I need the whole set from size 0 all the way to size 10. And do I use them? No. I use my ChowGoo interchangeable set the most, but when I'm doing like this much, I don't need the cord and the cables and this works just fine. And then I just take the end off here, put it on my other side, and it's like I have a small straight needle. So this is the Jelly Roll Blanket by Kay Jones. I like how some of it is almost striped and some of it is marled. At the beginning I tried to get it to stripe where you could just barely see the marl in between the two colors, and then with Felici, not all of the balls line up exactly the same, so I would have to take out a little bit to get them to match up. So I don't match my Felici socks. Like, whatever they start with, that's what they start with. I don't try to start with a certain color. I just cast on and knit them. Sometimes I put in a contrasting heel, sometimes I don't. And then I take one of the balls and I put it square in my memory blanket. So sometimes one ball is 3 grams, 3.5, 4 grams less than the other ball. So I've just been adding in the next ball of yarn as it runs out, and I think I like it. How it's striping and marling all at the same time. And I want to work on it, and I want to put more colors in there, but that's all I got so far. So that's my Jelly Roll blanket. Then I picked up my Cozy Memories blanket again. This is not the one by Kemper Ray. This is, I found when I wanted to start this, I looked on Ravelry for the Cozy Memories and I could not find a free pattern on there, or the Cozy Memories wasn't free at the time, and so I just searched on Google and I found a blog, and that's the one that I am using on this. I will link that in the description box below. It is linked on my pattern page also. And let's find where I was last time. Let's see. Last time I showed it, I was right here on this gray square. That was the last square I showed. I put in 2 more of my Christmas colors. I ran out of the mini, so I just took the main color because this was a sock set, and I just took the main color and added in to the top because I ran out of the mini. Then this was another sock set. This was my Happy Mermaid Yarn Co. sock set. And these were the 2 auction socks that I did at the beginning of the year. This was from my Lento. And then these were the Dream in Color socks that I just did. And I got to the end of the row and put the next row on. I laid this out on my bed and took a picture of it, and then I kind of I saw where the top of the blanket was on my bed, and then I just pulled the bottom of the blanket up to where I wanted it and counted how many more rows that would be to make it as long as I wanted to fit on my bed. And I had 8 more rows, so I finished a row, so I have 7 more rows that I want to put on here, maybe hopefully this year. This is, let me grab my, I wrote it down on my little paper. There's 21 squares. I don't know why I settled on 21 squares. Excuse me. There's 21 squares in each row, and I wanted 8 more rows, so that's 168 squares that I needed to put in, and I did 22 squares. 146 squares left. So 146 squares, that's like less than 1 square a day. But do I have enough yarn? I think I do. Well, let me grab my box. I have this box. I've got these that I need to empty and put in here, and I need to count through these, so there's at least 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34. I only have like 34 more colors to put in that I have in here. So as I do, I'd have to do 100 more pairs of socks, or use 100 more skeins of fingering weight yarn for this year. Can I do it? Because I don't want to put in like any just random mini. It needs to be a project that I've already finished the leftover yarn from that. That's the only thing that's going in that blanket. If I do another one, that can be random, anything, mini skeins, row 1 minis, anything like that could go into my next Cozy Memories blanket, but this is the one that I want to do just projects that I've completed, just yarn that is in a project that I've worked on. So I don't think I'll finish that blanket this year. We'll see. I might do it. I might finish it, depending on what I got going. I'm thinking maybe take all of my, I got this idea from Lisa of 72 Stitches. She took all of her Sorella yarn that was Taylor Swift themed and made a cozy comfort throw. And I'm thinking maybe take all of my Yarnberry, I think there's 12 skeins plus a mini with each skein, 12 skeins, hold it double, and do a Cozy Memories blanket. Then that will give me 24 more squares to put in my blanket, because I've got lots of different colors. I did not write down what month these came. I can always go back and look at my videos, but that would take a lot of time. But I could do a Cozy Memories blanket with that, and that would get 12, 120, 12 times 12. I don't know what that answer is. That would get that many grams out of my stash for the year. I could do that. Because I don't know, like, some of these are super light and beautiful, and do I want socks that are going to go in just in my shoes and nobody's going to see them, or do I want a beautiful blanket? And it's Hobbit yarn, it's the Lord of the Rings, it's the Hobbit, it's, so I want a project to do that in, so I could do that with that yarn. Let's talk about my stash stats, because I do not have any mail, and I did not go shopping this week. So for April, my yarn in, I had 3,314 grams in. So that's about 33 skeins of yarn for the month of April. And I knit out 255.5 grams. So that's 2.5 skeins out. So that put me at a positive 3,058.5 grams in for the month, which brings my yearly total. How much yarn I have in my stash right now, I have 85,849.7 grams in my stash right now, and I spent $1,493.24 on yarn or yarn related items this month. I did purchase an advent. I got the Twice Sheared Sheep Notions advent this year, So I will be getting that. I don't have it now. I will be getting that in December, November. Well, it'll be ready to open in December. So I'll get it probably November-ish. But I did purchase it already, so that goes towards my purchases. Plus the Great Basin Fiber Arts Fair and the LYS Day put me at $1,493 purchased in yarn this month. I also pre-ordered my Momma Jess yarn for May. So I'm hoping my purchases will only be my monthly Momma Jess Mystery Club until I find the Advent that I want for this year. I might do 2. I think I'm going to do the Torch Knits one again this year, and maybe I'm thinking if I can get it, Charming You, I think. I was watching Shauna Stitches and she showed some of her different advents that she's got throughout the last few years, and I really do like the mixture of colors in the Charming You one. I might consider some other ones if I don't get that one, but I am going to purchase at least 1 or 2 yarn advents for December. So, and other than that, I don't plan on purchasing much yarn the rest of the year. So we'll see how much yarn I can get knit out. Because I think having that one that I can say yes to every single time helps in not saying yes to everything. I think that does help. So don't forget the Cowboy Yarn Crawl is happening at the end of this month from Memorial Day until Labor Day. All 9 stores, all 9 yarn stores in Wyoming will be participating. I will pop in the map of where they are in the state. All of them will be linked in the description box below. And until next time, happy knitting!